Hey guys, it's Brick Thunder, and today we're going to be unboxing, setting up, and doing a demo of the new for 2023 Home Depot 7.5-foot Skull and Bones Archway. Alright, so this thing was extremely hard to get. I did not get it on the original drop, which would have been a better idea, but I didn't exactly know where to put it. I'm here where I'm gonna put it. This is my mummy hallway, which I'll be showing in my haunt, and this is the entryway to it, because this isn't really grand enough. This thing is awesome. But since I didn't get it on the drop, I had to wait for stores to stock. And the thing with Home Depot is, even if they have all the stock, if it's up on the shelves, you can't get it. So I had to wait for some stores to put stuff out. A few of mine did, but this one wasn't out. Today, this morning, I did just get this. I found out last night that one of my stores about 40 minutes away had it. They had 7 of them actually. And I was able to go there this morning right when they opened, and they still had it. So I was able to get it, and I'm very excited to get into this unboxing because I have not seen it in person. And it's definitely one of my favorite things from Home Depot's lineup. It is really, really cool. So let's get straight to the unboxing. Here we go. All right, let's open it up. So first of all, I apologize for any background noise. I am using my chest mic, so I'm hoping it doesn't pick up too much of it, but there is some noise going on. So let's open it up. I have not seen any of the parts yet. I have not even looked inside the box, just cut it open. Everything looks really cool so far. So we have a metal bar. This is likely that the bar that goes across. Yeah, so this goes on the inner side of the archway. People step over this. It's very thin, so not really a tripping hazard. Similar to the archway props. We have some of the actual blow molded pieces right here, straight out of the box. Let's take these out right here. So here is one of them right here. And this is really, really heavy. Not what I would expect from this. Oh, here. So this is why it was heavy. There was 2 of them in there. Still, really heavy. But here are some of the blow molded pieces. Looks really cool. They're labeled outside to inside there so you don't mix it up. The paint job looks great on this, and the size is awesome. It's huge. I'm not really... I wasn't expecting it to be too big. I was hoping at least it would cover up most of this. But it definitely seems to be really big, which is a good thing. I was really surprised at the box size. It's actually a really small box for something this big, 7.5 feet. And being an archway, it's going to be pretty wide. Here's the other matching side, I believe. Those 2 should be the same exact mold. We have a more arched piece right here. Looks pretty cool. Here we have 3 pieces in one. We have another more arched piece that looks like a replica of the one we just took out. We have, I think, the bottom pieces. These would be the bottoms, yeah. So let's take these out. There they are. Looks amazing. That is super cool. I love how they just have the bones on the sides, just the skulls on the front and back. That's pretty cool. Yeah, there's the other matching one there. In here we have 2 boxes of poles. One of them might just be stakes and stuff, but I believe both should be poles, or some sort of metal parts of it. Put those to the side there. Instructions right there, although they do include instructions on the box as well on Home Depot items, which I really like. Here is the top piece, actually. This is the middle top right there. Put that to the side. We have some of the leading up pieces. These are just some smaller pieces, not really arched or anything, just getting a bit smaller towards the top. Same with this, same exact thing for the other side of it. And those actually have the connections right there. You can see some of them actually twist in place to lock. But there is a metal frame going up it too. It's not just the plastic blow molds. Speaking of metal frame, here is the base. It's 2 separate bases, like I said, connected with a middle bar right there. So that's all of our parts out of the box. Let's get to the setup. Here we go. All right, let's begin our setup here. So we have our B poles here, and these are just going to snap lock into the A right here. So snap that down with the snap lock there. We'll do the same thing over here on this side. All right, looking good. Now we can take our D pieces And like I said in the beginning, these are labeled outside and inside. So if we're going to do this side first, we want to make sure it's labeled outside that way. And then we can slide this right over the top, making sure the pole goes through the plastic like that, and it can rest on the ground. We'll do the same thing over here, making sure the outside right there is facing out, and we'll slide it down. All right, we're going to do the same thing, going up even more. We have 2 more B poles. Doesn't matter where these go. These are all labeled B, so these can be the first 2 or the second 2, doesn't really matter. So snap those 2 down. Now we can take our E pieces right here. Again, same thing, outside facing out. We're going to slide these both down. Again, making sure the pole goes all the way through, and then this is just going to slide down until it meets up with the pattern like that. We want to make sure that pattern is basically seamless there. So that looks good. Let's do the same to the other side here. All right, so now we're going to take our C pieces, and these click on next, but first we're going to remove these nuts and washers right there. So these come off because these are then going to go on top of the plastic pieces to lock those down. So first, let's snap lock these in. Again, both labeled C, doesn't matter where they go. Just make sure they are that third pole going up. So we'll snap lock those both down like that. Now before we get these nuts and washers on, let's take F, making sure the outside is faced out, and we're going to slide this down. Now this side is tilting a lot. That's just because of how much of a slant this is on. I am going to level this out eventually, and also it'll level itself out. Once this side has the arch pieces, it's going to push this like that so that it's more straight, but I will also level it. So now what we can do here is put the washer on first and then screw this down. All right, and with all that weight, it was starting to tip, so I shifted it over. I will level it before moving it back. So right now it'll be fine like this. Now let's do the same thing over here. Match up that pattern, slide it down all the way, making sure this is exposed at the top of the threading like that. There we go. And then we can do the same thing. Washer first, and then the nut. All right, so now it wants us to move to the ground here. So we have our G piece, and then we can get our next 2 right here, which are H and H, a bit less curved, making our way to the top here, like that. And these are all going to come together in a second. And then we have I right here, which is our final piece, our top piece right there for the middle, like that. So that builds our arch form. Now let's connect these, and then we're going to tilt it over and add it on to the rest of the arch that we built. So the connections here are very similar to 12 foots. You're going to click it in place, and then we're going to twist it to lock. There we go. That one's locked in right there. It's a bit difficult, but once you get it, you know it is in for sure. And now it actually wants us to do this one first. So we're going to slide this over here, do the same thing, push it in, and then twist to lock. Push like that, and then we'll twist. There we go. All right, those 2 pieces are connected now. Now we can take our middle piece right here and twist both in. All right, there we go. Our full pieces together now. So we're going to lean that piece we did before down so we can then attach this. All right, so now right before we do that, I do want to say the instructions actually say this is meant for indoor use. So obviously you can use it outside if you really want to, but these apparently can just stand on their own. Now there are stakes that can go into these, but yeah, apparently just for indoor use right there. So we won't be needing this, which I was probably going to do anyways because it is so slanted. Even though I'm going to level it, the ground is still not perfect. So something that flat really doesn't help much outside, but it makes sense for indoor. All right, now same connections here. This is much bigger scale, but exact same way of connecting. So we're going to push this in first. There we go, pushed in, and now let's twist it to lock. All right, so both sides are now clicked in place. So now it is time to actually stand this up. Like I said, don't need that metal bar because we're outside. So these are going to stand on their own, stand it up, and it'll be finished. All right, so here it is, fully stood up, looking amazing. So this thing overall is really great. So it's $200 retail price, and I think that's definitely fair for what you're getting. The other big archway Home Depot has done that's been like this, blow molded, is the Mausoleum Archway, and I love that thing. I do own that, and it's definitely one of my favorite pieces from Home Depot, but this thing I think is even cooler. It's definitely overall a lot larger, definitely taller, and for sure much wider, and the detail put into it is amazing. The quality is also much better. I'm not even sure if it is blow molded. I would think so, but it feels different. It feels very different, especially on the inside and especially with that weight. The paint job is really good, especially at night. This is going to look perfect. I love that it's fully detailed all around, as you can see. Even on the underside, it looks great. And even on the sides, people aren't going to see, like on the top, fully detailed. Looks awesome. So there is no demo or anything to this. It's just kind of a put in place object. I do like pieces like this. I do hope Home Depot continues with stuff like this, where it's just haunt facades, arches, entryways, stuff like that. I think is really cool. It doesn't really need to light up, doesn't need to do anything. Just a cool haunted house piece. And for $200, it's totally worth it. I have seen some people customize it, put like lights in the eyes, stuff like that. That's pretty cool. You can totally do your own customizations. I'll probably add curtains behind it because I don't want people to see the mummies. But other than that, I think I'm going to keep it like it is. I think it's pretty cool how you get it. But yeah, there it was. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.